Hi there, good day to you. This is Tracy Harrison from the School of Applied Functional Medicine. Today we're going to have, as usual, a whole bunch of rich practical clinical tips, but today we're going to have a little fun with it in celebration of the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday here in the United States, and certainly one of our corporate values at SAFM around gratitude. Today I want to share with you some, perhaps some straightforward, but also some surprising things that I am grateful for, having had the blessing of not only supporting thousands of different practitioners over the years here at the School of Applied Functional Medicine from all sorts of different modalities as they encounter not just the technical and clinical challenge of helping their patients and clients through the functional medicine lens, but as they encounter the practical, everyday, mundane, habitual barriers to actually helping people to make the lifestyle change that is going to enable them to not only get well, but to stay well. But I also want you to know that this is going to be a fun session that's going to be accessible for pretty much any type of practitioner. So please do help me spread the wealth of new knowledge and share this video right now with your friends and colleagues. I would really appreciate that. This is a public service that we bring to the practitioner community here at SAFM every month. So without further ado, I want to dig into things that I am grateful for. In particular, today I'm going to be emphasizing a number of different, again, perhaps surprising aspects, because we can study functional medicine science, we can geek out and get into theory and the pedantic study of science and biochemistry and physiology. But here's the thing. What functional medicine, the efficacy of functional medicine is anchored on our ability as practitioners, especially as multimodality clinics and practices or referral networks, based on our ability to actually help people to change the circumstances that led to their disease states in the first place. And as we well know through the functional medicine lens, so much of what our patients and clients are wrestling with today is not evidence of the body being broken, of this rogue vulnerability in our anatomy and physiology. The body is just not that weak. It's really quite resilient. Instead, what we very often encounter through the functional medicine lens is a dramatic disconnect between the choices that our patients and clients are making on a day-over-day basis and the life experience that they actually want to have. And we have a huge opportunity as practitioners to ensure that our patients and clients are educated about the choices they are making, which very often are promoting a sympathetic dominant nervous system mode on an ongoing basis. That nervous system mode is about fighting and flighting and survival, right? Helping to make sure we make it to another day. And when we're in sympathetic dominant nervous system mode, there are very specific muscle contractions, glandular secretions, and organ behavior that are emphasized in the body in its wisdom in order to help us survive. But very often what we end up with as a life experience on the other side of that sympathetic nervous system action is not the life experience that we want to have, right? Our patients and clients are making choices every day to burn the candle at both ends, be stressed, prioritize more work over rest, much less true rejuvenation. We prioritize work and gotta do, must do's over movement and exercise. We eat what's affordable, what's cheap, what's on sale, what's hyper palatable, not necessarily what's nutrient dense. And we're choosing to be inflamed and to deal with chronic simmering infections. And we'd rather keep working and power through an illness when the body is clearly telling us it needs some rest. We do all of these things. It's our common cultural experience. But people don't understand that you make those choices, but then on the other side, you're not going to feel energetic. You're not going to have lower levels of body fat. You're not going to be thin and have a flat stomach and have great skin and awesome orgasms and smooth digestion and easy bowel movements and feel relaxed and at peace with your life, right? Have a baby at the drop of a hat. These are all things that people want to experience, and they don't necessarily understand that the reason they're not having those life experiences while they're struggling with this type of dis-ease in the body is so often as a direct result of their lifestyle choices. So much of what I am passionate about and oh so grateful for is what we can introduce to patients and clients in order to help them to take a step or a couple of steps along the journey of making sustainable, and sustainability is crucial, sustainable lifestyle change. And I find that a lot of practitioners are really quite knowledgeable. They're intelligent, they're well-trained, they're astute. But if we don't have a super awesome, flexible toolbox in order to help people make lifestyle change, it doesn't matter how smart we are, right? The most awesome lab work, the most awesome intervention list, the most awesome diagnostic capability, my friends, it's not worth anything, diddly squat, if it's not going to help someone to get well. So at the end of the day, you or someone on your team has got to have a pretty awesome, funky, hip, modern toolbox in order to help people to make lifestyle changes. Whatever baby step, whatever customization helps people to move forward is of value. So without further ado, one of the things I'm really grateful for is Miracle Noodles. If you're not familiar with this product, this is a really wonderful thing. So many of the patients and clients that we support are trying to counter or prevent metabolic dysfunction. They may have some insulin resistance, they may have pre-diabetes, and we know a big part of what they have to change about their lifestyle is consuming typically fewer overall carbohydrates, and certainly getting rid of refined carbohydrates. Well, this rubs people the wrong way, right? They don't want to give up their pasta. They don't want to give up their bread. And so I'm a fan of Miracle Noodles because this package of noodles, my friends, has no calories. Your clients are so delighted, like, wait a minute, I can have as many of these as I want? Yes, you can. But I highly recommend ramping up slowly because Miracle Noodles are made of resistant starch, which is a really wonderful prebiotic food that also helps to give people a strong sense of satiety. A really wonderful way for people to shift their diet in a way that's still pleasing to them. They can still have their favorite red sauce and meatballs or pesto or anything like that, but we're making a baby step choice, right? In order to not say no pasta ever, right? If you want to be well, no pasta. No, let's make it fun pasta, right? Here's the thing. If you can't make getting healthier fun and pleasurable, the likelihood you're going to get people to make sustainable lifestyle change is really low. And the likelihood that you're going to have wildly satisfied patients and clients is about zero. We've got to find a way to gamify wellness. We've got to make it fun and pleasurable. At the end of the day, we're all human, right? If people learn that, let me get this straight, getting healthier is going to involve doing things I don't want to do, eating food I don't like, making choices that are boring or stressful or inconvenient, who's going to do that? They may do it in the short term because they're afraid, right? Because fear is a powerful motivator. But if we want people to have sustainable lifestyle choices, we've got to find a way, again, to customize our solutions for their unique needs. And also make things pleasurable and fun, right? Wellness has a marketing problem, my friends, right? I don't know about you, but I'm really healthy and it's really freaking fun. I have a great time with this. My diet is delicious. My lifestyle choices are fun and empowering, and I can't wait to do them. We've got to find a way to translate that enthusiasm to the people that we serve. So yeah, Miracle Noodles are a fantastic tool, right? I also like riced cauliflower, right? Which at places like Trader Joe's, you can buy frozen and ready to go. And you put it in a pot or in the microwave for like a minute and it's ready to go. Well, riced cauliflower has the same type of texture as rice, and so they can use it as a base, right? A starchy foundation to stir fries and sauces. But it's a vegetable. It's even a cruciferous vegetable, which is bringing people all sorts of additional benefits, right? For increasing the synthesis of glutathione in the body and via sulforaphane, right? and helping us to better, more productively and in a less inflammatory way metabolize estrogens, right? Increasing intake of cruciferous vegetables. Well, maybe people aren't ready for like a bowl of kale. Maybe that's really intimidating, right? Maybe they need to be introduced to kale chips. We all love chips, right? People are always looking for healthy, crunchy things besides carrots. Oh my God, carrots get boring after a while. Kale chips. Riced cauliflower is a great substitute for rice. Miracle noodles are a fantastic substitute for pasta. You got to meet people where they are and keep things delicious. All right. Now I want to talk about movement, right? I am a big fan of the Village People's Greatest Hits because several years ago, I found a client who was explaining to me that she didn't have time to incorporate exercise. She didn't even have time to go for a walk because her life is so busy and I don't understand and there's just not enough room. And so I'm like, all right, let's get down to brass tacks here. What do you do in your life that is involving any kind of movement at all today? How can we piggyback on something that you're already doing? She thought, well, I don't know. I get up, I get ready, I get in my car, I go to work. I don't have a lot of time, right? I'm like, there's got to be some place in your life where you're already moving. She was like, I don't know. On Saturday, I clean the house. I guess that's moving. I'm like, wait a minute. You clean the house every Saturday? Yeah. Do you like cleaning the house? Well, yeah, actually I do. Well, why do you like it? Well, because my kids go off to sports practice or games. My husband goes with them and I get to turn on my favorite music. I'm like, your favorite music? What is it? She's like, you want to know the truth? Don't tell anyone. It's the Village People's Greatest Hits. I'm like, is that the only time in your week that you can listen to that? They're like, yeah, my kids think I'm crazy. I'm like, do you turn it up really loud? I'm like, yeah, do you dance? She's like, no, I'm cleaning house. I'm like, well, what would it be like to turn your weekly housekeeping into like this boogie fest dance clean-a-thon? And she started laughing out loud. She's like, are you kidding me? Like, I know, I'm serious. What would it be like to actually turn your half an hour of housekeeping into like some kind of serious dance-a-thon fiesta to the Village People? Turn it up real loud and have fun with this, right? This was hilarious. She thought this was great. And she started sending me videos of her doing this. It was hilarious. She was seriously getting down. Is this going to appeal to anyone else? Probably not. But did it appeal to this woman? Totally. And get this. She actually started sharing this with her colleagues at work, and they started doing it and sharing videos with each other. And so she started turning this into the nightly cook-a-thon, the boogie cook-a-thon. And of course, her kids thought she'd lost her mind, and they were so embarrassed. And oh my God, Mom, you're posting this on Facebook? But hey, whatever works. You got to get hip and flexible and fun-loving with patients and clients. And if it's not you, if you don't have time in your business or your structure, then you need someone else doing this, whether it's your PA or your educator or your health coach or your nurses. Somebody in your practice has got to do this, because if you don't make wellness fun, it's not going to happen. One of my favorite other stories is a woman who had a similar entrenched belief. No time, not doing the movement, not happening. She spent her evening with her family on the couch in big cushy chairs watching television. She's like, I'm not giving that up. I have a job I hate. I'm busy talking to people all day. I want to veg out and watch television at night, and you're not going to tell me I can't. I'm like, all right, hold on. There's got to be a solution in there. So your evening, so you're watching TV. Is there nothing else you do during your evening? She's like, well, the only thing I'd be willing to give up are the commercial breaks. Do you know how many commercial breaks there are in 4 hours of television? It's like working out for an hour. I talked her into using the 4 to 5 minute commercial breaks to do some quick interval activity. Even just walking up and down the stairs in her home. Well, this turned into calisthenics. It turned into some free weights she picked up at Walmart. And she got her whole family involved. And that was this competition for who can make the most flights of stairs during the commercial breaks. We've gamified working out during the commercial breaks for evening television. By the time she went to bed at night, she'd had an hour of interval training spread over 4 hours. She was probably working out than most of my clients who went to the gym. This was fantastic. She didn't see it as a workout, because in her mind, workout equals boring, or workout equals not fun or intimidating or challenging. My friends, if people hate going to the gym or they're embarrassed to go to the gym, stop talking about the gym. Guilting them into it, talking them into it, no amount of positive psychology is going to help someone with the gym if they have in their mind that the gym equals badness. We got to get creative with people, right? I just want people to move. One of my favorite inventions are those baskets that they have at the grocery store. Imagine the amount of workout people get if you convince them to skip the cart, right? The carts are cumbersome anyway, right? Get 2 baskets and do your shopping in baskets, right? Walk through the store, put the baskets down, put your stuff in it, pick them up, carrying them around. This is a lot better than doing nothing. It's a serious workout. You're getting some serious arm movement. There's an aerobic activity to it. And people are going to go to the grocery store anyway, right? It can be the beginning of people starting to see that movement doesn't have to be this. You don't have to go to a special place and pay a membership to get exercise. We've forgotten how to move in day-to-day life. Oh my God. It's like that famous photo that went viral 10 years ago of people taking the escalator to go to the gym. Wow. We've got to get back to the whole notion of how do we move in our everyday life? How do we learn to start parking at the back of the parking lot and walking into the store, right? Parking at the back of the parking lot and walking up the stairs to go to work. 4 or 5 minutes of activity is so much better than nothing. We've got to get better at encouraging people to take baby steps. And then here, my friends, this is very important. Celebrate the crap out of the baby step, because every journey, a journey of 1,000 miles, still begins with the first few steps. We have to create momentum. In the same way, I am a big fan of colorful notebooks and pens, especially interesting pens like colorful glitter pens. I have found in my life experience, my clinical experience, that inside all of us, especially women, there's an inner 5-year-old that still really loves markers, right? And if it's glitter pens, so much the better. We often are educating our patients and clients about the value of mindfulness, about the value of finding something that you can do each day that takes you out of the stress of ruminating thoughts, the stress of grudges and fears and negativity, and getting into something positive minded. Well, way too many practitioners are going from sort of the standard American negativity mass media experience and recommending like meditation. Okay, I love meditating. I do it every day, but that's kind of like saying people are going to go from ho-hos to, I don't know, seaweed chips. That's just not going to happen. It's too big of a leap. I find the form of mindfulness that is most accessible to nearly everyone is gratitude journaling. Just recommending that people commit to spend 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes, that's all. Either first thing in the morning while they're sipping on coffee, or last thing in the evening after they get into bed. A chance to take a deep breath and write for just 5 minutes about what they are grateful for. Not general things like, oh, my family, or oh, my health, but simple, everyday, specific things. I'm so grateful for that really nice man at the grocery store today who helped me when I dumped my groceries all over the parking lot, right? Just interrupting the ruminating flow of negativity, right? Those ants, those automatic negative thoughts, and finding a way to be grateful. Well, gifting someone a colorful little journal and a few pens, what's it going to cost you? $3? $4 maybe? A really powerful gift to give someone to get them started on this type of choice, right? And I got news for you. It's a lot cheaper to go to the school supply section or the children's department at a box store to buy it rather than getting sort of fancy adult ones. And it can be fun for people to just harken back to the child in them. Don't make wellness complicated, and for sure, don't make it fun. Don't make it not fun, right? We got to start gamifying these things. In a similar vein, talking about movement, I'm a fan of pets because it's amazing in the same sense that people will make lifestyle change, maybe dietary change for their children, but they won't do it for themselves. It's amazing how often people will go on a walk for their pet, but not for themselves. And I actually had a woman who started taking her cat on a walk. This was hilarious, but turns out cats with a little harness and some practice can actually go on short walks. But restless dogs can be a really wonderful love-centered momentum for greater health. And I really encouraging people to talk with them about their pets. Very often, people have some deep-seated connection to their pets, right? It's not just a guard dog, it's a member of the family. Certainly, I know mine are. And taking the dog for just another walk, right? Maybe instead of a 10-minute walk, maybe it's a 16-minute walk, right? Just a little bit further, just a little bit more, right? That can be a wonderful impetus for focusing on a little more movement, a little more exertion. Trying hard to find what people already find special in their life and building on it. If people already are big believers in prayer, emphasize prayer. If people are already big believers in dog walking, emphasize dog walking, right? Build on something that is already meaningful to people and find a way to make it health promoting. Start with what's meaningful and find a way with your creativity to make it health promoting. I want to talk about some other products I love. I should have bought stock in this company. All right, Miyoko's. This is a vegan butter substitute. Now, as someone who has not only a dairy sensitivity, but an actual dairy allergy, I've been on a relentless search for high quality dairy substitutes for a long time. I don't have a need for a white beverage in my life, but I loved butter for a long time. Who knew that it was making me 30 pounds overweight, TMJ, chronic headaches, all of these kinds of issues that have now gone away, that I've eliminated, foods that I have allergies to. But I should have bought stock in this company because this is not some crap refined non-food product, right? This is made from coconut oil and cashews. It's delicious. It's cultured. It's a whole food-based product, and it actually tastes like butter, my friends. It's a fabulous substitute for people who may have things like chronic postnasal drip or acid reflux, and whether you have lab data or not, you're pretty convinced that they may have an allergy or sensitivity to dairy foods. Well, if people are in love with butter, the whole notion of just cold turkey not consuming it, that's going to pretty much come across as not fun. But this is a wonderful product to recommend. Here in the States, it's available at Trader Joe's, nice and cheap, but a really wonderful recommendation. And your suggestions for exploration of food eliminations are going to go across really much better with your patients and clients if you can arm them with practical substitution suggestions that they might actually have fun exploring, right? Like, oh, that looks really good. Let me try it, right? And especially if they can explore it with the whole family and get everyone in on it so that the particular person you're working with, adult or child, doesn't feel like their eliminations are a stigma internal to them enjoying family meals. Let's see. Bathtubs. Woo, I'm a fan of bathtubs. Why? Because it can be a vehicle for stress relief, magnesium repletion, and much better sleep hygiene. If I had a quarter for the number of clients whose lives have been transformed soaking in a bath for 20 minutes with Epsom salts, I would be very, very wealthy. Not everybody is into supplements, but we know that magnesium is very often the #1 nutrient that our patients and clients can use from a supplementation viewpoint in order to get rapid relief. A lot of the dis-ease that they're wrestling with actually may be mediated, plain and simple, with just insufficient magnesium. We know it's by and far the nutrient that is increasingly less available naturally in our food because of topsoil erosion. And if it's not available in the soil, it can't be available in your diet because vitamins come from the sun, minerals, my friends, come from the soil. And so we tend to be missing magnesium. We also are highly depleting our magnesium based on our lifestyle choices through promoting, even in the field of wellness, right? Vitamin D is such a hot supplement, and people are taking these mega doses of vitamin D that because magnesium is required for the final conversion of vitamin D to its active form, we're depleting vitamin D by the use of we're depleting magnesium with the use of high dose vitamin D supplements. Bottom line, a lot of our patients and clients need magnesium. They may not be able to swallow pills or tablets. They may not be into supplements. It's not their thing, but for sure, they can absorb magnesium transdermally with Epsom salt baths. It's a great way to give people some solitude. They can soak in the bath, maybe enjoy a beverage in a beautiful glass, maybe with a little candle, maybe reading a book. For a lot of parents who have young children, this may be the one time where they can get some relief in the evening with the other parent on duty or an older child on duty. They can actually lock the bathroom door and get some solitude, right? Wonderful sleep hygiene to just relax and get the soothing that comes from magnesium, right? Not rocket science. Most people have a bathtub. A lot of people, since their children became toddlers, don't use it anymore. I'm a big fan of and very grateful for bathtubs and Epsom salts. Also a highly inexpensive way to promote better sleep hygiene. I am also a fan of microwave ovens, right? Got one in my own home. It arrived there when I moved in. Never used it in my life, but I've recommended it to a lot of people. Because if you've got patients and clients who are kind of living on a fast food diet, right? Maybe they have breakfast at Dunkin' Donuts and lunch at McDonald's and dinner, pizza takeout or TGI Fridays. Here's the thing. If your patient hates cooking, do not waste your breath trying to talk them into starting to cook. Not a good solution, right? Basically, again, we're coming from the place of wellness is going to be painful. We got to stop doing that. Wellness can be easy, and I'm a big fan of frozen vegetables, right? They can just be quickly microwaved. Because if you can get people to stop eating a burger and fries for dinner and actually go home and microwave some vegetables in a bowl, that's a serious victory. And again, one you want to celebrate, right? I'm a big fan of pre-cut vegetables where people have them in a bag and they're just ready to go, right? I think we want to educate them to take them out of the plastic bag. It is not safe to microwave in a plastic bag. I don't care what the marketing label says. The chemist in me knows you cannot microwave in a plastic bag safely. It's not a good idea. And there's no such thing as safe microwave popcorn in a bag either. Different topic for a different day, but put the frozen vegetables in any bowl and just put a paper towel over the top, right? But microwaving frozen vegetables, I'm all about it. Great solution. Fantastic. It starts the momentum of, gee, I can eat at home even if I hate cooking, right? We got to begin with people where people are. Begin with sources of convenience in order to make wellness easy to approach. I'm also a fan for that reason. Sometimes getting people to take the step of making anything at home is too intimidating. For that reason, I am a big fan of the sides portion of the menus at restaurants, because there are a lot of fast casual types of restaurants in the United States that have really crappy food. Very hyper palatable, chemical enhanced foods, lots of poor quality fats, lots of sugar, lots of highly refined carbohydrates. But you might be shocked when you ask people, okay, where do you like to eat out? Right? Let's take a look at their menus. Start with what they already like, right? Just like people's spiritual practice, just like their movement, just like their music. Start with what they like and find a way to make it healthy. Well, you'd be shocked to learn how many sides menus at even seemingly not so healthy restaurants have steamed broccoli, have grilled asparagus, have a plain sweet potato, have a side skewer of shrimp, or you can get a fillet of salmon added to anything. Well, you can construct a meal from the sides menu. And so if you're going to a restaurant like this with your family and you don't want to push healthier eating habits on your family, maybe they're not ready for it, go to your favorite places, but choose more selectively from the menu. If your patient is a senior regional sales manager, I got news for you. They live in their car. They are not going to start making food at home. It's just not going to happen. It flies in the face of everything that is valuable and important to them. Work with what they already value and find a way to make it healthier. So check out the sides menus. You can do this during your work online. You can have people take a look at the menus of their favorite places online in advance and come in and share their favorite menu items and find a way to construct something similar from the sides menu, right? We've got to educate people about unexpected opportunities to be healthier. For that matter, I'm a big fan of the salads at McDonald's. Because it's the healthiest salad imaginable? No, but it is so much better than a Big Mac and fries. And if people are gonna go to McDonald's because it's what they do, then I am so grateful that there are salads on the menu at McDonald's. It is a place to begin. And anything that allows people to begin is something to celebrate, because your clinical knowledge, your technical knowledge may give people the pearls, the intellectual pearls that they need to get well, but if they can't find a way to practically make lifestyle changes that are actually sustainable, then your technical knowledge, again, is not worth very much. For that same reason, I am a big fan of fancy glasses, right? So we work with a lot of patients and clients who are over consuming alcohol, or we work with people where alcohol actually overtly stands in the way of their current wellness goals. Maybe people have prediabetes and them having to learn that alcohol puts a huge additional pressure on the liver, and once people have a prediabetes or progressive dynamic, that fatty liver is already there. We got to give the liver a break. We really need to cut back on alcohol. But here's the thing. Anything that you recommend to a patient or a client that flies in the face of their rituals is a problem. People have rituals. We all do. We love ritual. It brings meaning to our life. It brings moment to our life. You're working with lots of patients and clients for whom one of their most special moments of the day is when they sit down with their spouse to have a glass of wine. Or when they sit down at the end of the day, when all the kids are finally in bed, and they get to have a cocktail and watch a half an hour of television, or hunker down in the bath with a book, or engage in something meaningful to them. Start with what is meaningful and find a way to make it healthier. So here's the thing, exactly. Cheryl, kombucha in a gorgeous wine glass, right? Maybe it's a smaller cocktail in a beautiful glass. Maybe it's sparkling mineral water with a lemon or a lime, and maybe even a umbrella, right? To make it fun. Keep the ritual, keep the beautiful glass, keep the wonderful interlude with the spouse or the bath or the book. Don't ruin the ritual. Honor the ritual. Find a way to make the ritual healthier, right? We've got to begin where people are. If people are really attached to their cocktail, don't go for no alcohol right off the bat. That's going to make you crazy unpopular. But maybe we're just cutting back. Maybe we're watering down the cocktail a little bit more, right? Maybe we're choosing a healthier wine, right? Start where they are and find a way step by step to make it healthier. And health coaches know this intrinsically. Ask your patient, what would be a step along the journey of reducing alcohol that feels good to you, that feels like a good, manageable, acceptable goal? Let them tell you. Don't guess. Involve them in the process. They're the one who is going to make the change. Health coaches do this naturally, right? It's part of how they show up and do their work. We've got to remember that through the functional medicine lens, the patient or the client is the center of the therapeutic encounter. They got to be. Because again, no matter how much you know pedantically, theoretically, scientifically, they're the ones who are going to be making the lifestyle change. I am also a fan of sick days, because here's the thing. We've got an awful lot of patients and clients who have chronic autoimmune activation because they have a lifestyle habit of not paying attention to their immune system. In fact, they may be living from the neck up, right? They're not paying attention to any of their symptoms from the neck down. When their immune system is getting them those early cues and clues with achiness, fatigue, malaise, low-grade congestion, they know how to power through that, right? You just have another cup of coffee and double down, right? A little more sugar, a little more caffeine, and you just keep powering through. No healing is going to be achieved by powering through. So I think it's fantastic. And I'm so grateful that companies offer sick days. And our opportunity is to remind people, you have sick days. Stay home. Take a sick day. Role model for your child that when you feel sick, it's a great idea to listen to the millennia educated wisdom of your body. Stay home and let your body fight the infection, and then you can go back to work the next day or 2 days later a stronger person. Oh my gosh, we've forgotten how to get rejuvenated. We've forgotten that when you have those early symptoms of sickness, it's actually your immune system asking you for your help. Educate your patients that your immune system is not asleep at the wheel when you feel great. Your immune system is fighting all sorts of crazy microbial imbalances 7/24 every single solitary day. You only start to feel sick when it needs help. And you don't feel symptoms because the bug is making you feel bad. You feel symptoms because your immune system is saying, dude, we need some help here. This one is going to take a little bit more effort. And so you need to go down. I need you to stop suppressing me with stress and suppressing me with caffeine and suppressing me with sugar. I need you to let me work. Yes, super powerful education to give children, but as we know, children are much better at watching what we do rather than listening to what we say. Sick days. I'm crazy grateful for sick days. We need to start taking them. I used to work in the corporate world, and it's actually a sickness. It's like this psychotic sickness that people take as a badge of honor. I never take a vacation day or a sick day. And I remember thinking, dude, you're stupid. Seriously? Yeah. We need to start enjoying these lives that we're working so hard to have more money. Otherwise, we end up with a lot of money and no time to spend it, or no quality of life, right? We've got to start putting more quality in the years that we're actually having. And like I said, people won't do things for themselves, but they may do them for their child or their pet, and I'll get in any door I can. If that's a beginning, I'll take it. Because if we don't get people beginning, we won't have an opportunity later on to continue the work, to start talking about how they innately deserve those choices as well. I have found that so many of my own clients and my own practice respond super well to a video or a blog article from me about these simple everyday things that I'm grateful for in my life and helping myself and my family to be healthier. Because you know what? Showing them everyday simple things that I honor helps them to see me as human. It helps them to realize that being healthier doesn't require them to be a Superman or a Superwoman. It's just a matter of being committed. It's not about perfection. It's about excellence and being committed and recommitting every day. I'm going to do the best I can to be healthier today. It's Friday, I'm committing again. It's Saturday, I'm committing again. And anytime that you share a blog article or a video or something, a newsletter, some place where you share simple everyday tips that you use as a human being, not just what you recommend to them, but what do you use? It helps them to see you as a human and therefore makes what you stand for feel more accessible to them. A lot of practitioners in our global community who feel like they have confidence issues and showing up and do this work. Maybe they're not as confident as they want to be. They don't feel as skilled as they want to be. But I got news for you. Everyone in your practice looks up to you. They see you on some level as being a role model, right? A beacon, a bright light, leading them to healthier choices. And if they see you as being too perfect or too healthy, or if what you're doing, there's too much of a crevasse between what they're doing and what you're doing, they tend to give up. They don't give up because they don't think you're worthy or you don't know what you're talking about. They give up because there's too much of a gap between you and them. right? That's not helpful. Be careful to not come across in your writing and your patient communication as being too excellent or too perfect. Don't do that. Be human. We're all human. Nobody's perfect, right? Show people what you use, right? I teach people about how I sleep with earplugs because I got a lot of four-legged little ones. They make noises in the middle of the night. My husband's a very restless sleeper. Earplugs help me sleep the night before, right? Show people what you use. Show them it's accessible, right? I'm very grateful for vitamin towers because it's a crazy big pain in the ass to pull supplement bottles out of the cabinet every day. I don't want to do that. In fact, if you told me I had to do it, I probably wouldn't be very reliable and consistent with my supplements either. But once every 2 weeks, I fill up 2 towers, right, with my supplements. And then it's super easy. Here's Friday's little container, and I pop it in my purse or put it on my desk, and it sits there and reminds me that I want to take them during the day, right? This could be a giveaway that you send your patients and clients, right? Or something that you feature on your website, right? Talk to people about, hey, trace minerals. We're all trying to eat more healthily. While you're trying to increase your intake of fruits and vegetables and plant-based products, some kelp sprinkles are a great way to start. You get a little bit of iodine and a whole bunch of other trace minerals. Put it on your kitchen counter right next to your stove. Shake a little bit on. Don't do a lot. Don't overload iodine. That's not a good thing. You can tell them why. But just shake a little on. Super simple. Maybe it's a substitute for salt if people are using too much salt. Great opportunity to educate them at the same time to not demonize salt. But make it easy. Super easy, right? Explain to them, hey, it's on sale at our local grocery store right now. Go get some. Take a picture of yourself on your phone and text it to us. Show us that you too got it, right? Make it fun. Any way that you can gamify wellness, that you can make wellness more convenient, that you can make it hip and cool and fun. Honor people's rituals and make them healthier. Honor what people already believe in and make it healthier. Honor what people already do, already find fun, already find convenient, and make it healthier. Make it part of wellness. This is why if it's not you, it's got to be someone in your practice who spends enough time with each individual patient or client to find out what those things are, right? This is why I'm a huge fan of the multimodality practice, right? Functional medicine alone is not enough. You need someone in your practice, whether it's a nurse or a health coach or a health educator, a nutritionist, a PA, someone on your team, right? There's all sorts of successful business models. We don't have to throw people under the bus. There's all sorts of different ways of operating together as teams, formally or informally, to just use our collective talents as a basket of gifts to help people to make sustainable lifestyle change so that they can actually naturally reap a different response from their body and find that delicious parasympathetic experience that they want to have. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. As always, it's great fun to be with you. For those of you in the U.S. and around the world who are going to celebrate Thanksgiving, I want to take the opportunity to say to you, eyeball to eyeball, I am grateful for you. No matter what type of modality you are, no matter where you are in this journey, to promote the impact of lifestyle, to promote sustainable medicine, to promote the future of more effective healthcare, not just by addressing symptoms, not just by band-aiding symptoms with drugs. Drugs can be real blessings, right? What I put on my list included immunosuppressant drugs, because here's the thing. If the myelin sheath in people's neurons in their brain is being attacked by their immune system, then immunosuppressants can be the biggest blessing for people to arrest the damage, to give you time to work with them to find the root cause of their unique chronic autoimmune activation so that it can be arrested. But that lifestyle change is not going to happen in 2 weeks. It may take 2 months. Heck, it may take 10 months. But medications can help to span the space while we're working with people in order to make lifestyle change. Sometimes, here's a pearl for you prescribers, sometimes immunosuppressants are actually necessary in order to calm down the immune system enough to allow you to address the pathogens or the gut microbial imbalance in their gut. Because otherwise, the die-off effect would be so severe, it would trigger a dramatic autoimmune flare that could be really devastating, right? For that matter, I'm a fan of natural thyroid extract. Are there people who absolutely don't need thyroid medication? For sure. But there are lots of people out there who can't actually get well because the furthest most upstream dynamic at play in their disease process is hypothyroid function. And they're going to keep having the revolving door of bad stool test results until they get good, solid thyroid function going, right? At SCFM, we like to say sluggish thyroid, sluggish anything, maybe sluggish everything, right? It's not just sluggish thyroid, sluggish motility, or sluggish thyroid, sluggish metabolism. If you got a sluggish thyroid, you probably have a sluggish liver, a sluggish immune system. And sometimes we have to promote increased thyroid function first for a period of time in order for the immune system of the liver to regain enough momentum and strength to get on top of the root causes that cause the disease process in the first place. Drugs are not evil. Drugs are blessings. They're just overused and they're way too often recommended as first-line therapy. I don't agree with that. But the chemist in me knows there's a lot of better living through chemistry. We got to stop throwing each other under the bus. There are lots of places where medications are not only highly merited, they're life-saving. And they can be opportunity promoting to allow you as a functional practitioner to do the work that you need. And so thinking about how through the functional lifestyle world do we partner with conventional allopathic practitioners and stop arguing with each other, stop denigrating each other and honoring that we have completely different skill sets that have completely different arenas of applicability. And we need to honor where all of our expertise, where all of our commitment comes into play in serving the larger population. We need to stop using acute or emergency medicine interventions and modalities for chronic lifestyle disease. But on the other hand, chronic lifestyle functional interventions are not appropriate in the ER, right? It all matters. It's all of value. And no matter where you're coming to us from today, maybe you've never heard of functional medicine until today. If so, welcome to the Kool-Aid, right? You may be a long-standing practitioner. You may have a crazy, successful, highly subscribed to functional practice, and you're just here hanging out with us to pick up a few additional clinical pearls and everything in between. No matter where you are in your journey to have a healthcare practice of your dreams, thank you for being here, right? We're all somewhere along that journey. So if you want to check us out, you can go to our website, schoolafm.com, and check out the clinical tips there. Check out some videos. We have all sorts of opportunity to access free content. There's dozens and dozens of videos on specific clinical and disease topics there. Check it out. Maybe it doesn't resonate with you. Super cool, but check it out just to make sure. But it might be just the thing you're looking for to finally take your practice, your role in your healthcare profession today to a new level of satisfaction and fulfillment. And I will see you next month.